just wow. I've heard about this, but I did not watch the video, and this is the first time I'm watching it, and so are you. This is crazy. Cop who dragged teen by her hair sentenced to probation. Cop drags a 16-year-old by her hair sentenced to 1 year probation. That's all he gets. No jail time, just a year probation. Here we go.
A cop only gets 1 year probation for dragging a 16-year-old by her hair. Here's that video.
Viewer discretion is advised.
We're watching this cop in the hallway right here, and she's being dragged by the hair. They have it blurred out, but there's just no way to deal with a 16-year-old. There's no way to see why the arm and the hair, it seems. There's no way to see why that she would possibly need to be taken in this way. This cop has no fear for their safety. This cop is way larger than them. They're even going to have to call in reinforcements. She's resisting being brought in, but now you're seeing her.
This girl is probably like maybe 110 pounds at that, and these guys are what, 200, and these guys are double the size of her.
In that manner, this young teenager was probably scared out of her mind, not only by the physical, but also by what they were saying to her. So we have an update. So this cop who committed that criminal act that you just saw will only receive 1 year of probation. Let's put this picture up full mass here.
Ready?
These videos were not previously released because of the pending investigation. This happened in 2021. Former Newcastle County, Delaware Police Corporal Michael Carnival.
Carnival.
What does that mean? That means he has years on the force. That means he's a supervisor. And that means he has leadership authority inside of that police department. The former officer was indicted in December on 3 misdemeanor charges: offensive touching, official misconduct, and falsifying business records. Now, 2 of those could have been felonies. They decided to only charge him with the misdemeanor element.
Jesus.
He pleaded guilty to offensive touching, which carried a maximum of 30 days.
30 days. You believe that?
The other charges were completely dismissed in exchange for his guilty plea, which occurred a few days before his scheduled trial date. His sentence for 1 year of probation came immediately after he pleaded guilty on Thursday, July 14th. So this cop, this corporal, also agreed to never seek employment or serve in law enforcement in the future. This cop, Carnival, whose probation will be suspended upon completion of anger management courses. Community
it seems like a lot of cops these days have anger management problems.
Police training certificate, declined to comment following his sentencing. Now, here's the irony of this. They have admitted what he did was criminal.
Yep.
And this is our problem with law enforcement. Naturally, you would assume that a person who has that level of public trust should be held at a higher standard of responsibility, a higher standard of care, a higher standard of accountability. If anyone else would have decided to do that to a 16-year-old girl, they would be charged with a felony, or maybe at least some crime in association with abusing a minor. This cop avoided all of the charges that would have been allocated to 99.9% of the population.
He should have been charged with child endangerment right there.
This way, they acknowledge what he did was in fact criminal.
Yep.
He goes home and receives virtually no penalty. All right, let's put up the colonel here, okay? This is Colonel Joseph Bloch. The county police chief said,
this is the Colonel, Joseph Bloch.
Actions are not within the policies and procedures of the department and do not reflect the values and standards of the division. That's a damn lie, because I saw more than one cop. Did that one cop, the other cop, try to stop him? No, that means it's a cultural issue.
In that one picture, there's 4.
And then it goes on to say, although I'm disgusted that this incident took place, I am pleased that he was held accountable for his actions and would never serve again.
Here we go, Cosplay 101.
Once again, not held accountable for his actions. He received a slap on the wrist. There are some details of the investigation. The investigation into this cop's actions began on August 31st after a fellow officer witnessed the excessive use of force, reported it to the commander, county police said. According to a separate Delaware Department of Justice release, the incident occurred on August 30th when the girl became disorderly and resistant while she was at the police station. The evidence revealed that this corporal repeatedly pulled and attempted to lift the victim by her hair and dragged her in a prone position nearly 50 feet along the ground by the chain of the handcuffs fastened behind her back, the Justice Department statement said. Once again, not enough penalty, not enough accountability, because they do not respect the life that was adversely impacted, and they have too much damn respect for the SOB who did it. Dan, thoughts here?
I really want to hit on a word you said there in particular, accountability, because yeah, you saw her being dragged like a piece of meat, like an animal, just along that hallway there in that surveillance footage. But the accountability, the lack of accountability rather, that's currently in police forces across the country, where you see not only do you have this mistrust of how they'll handle cases, how they'll handle people who are being arrested, that has existed within communities of color for basically the existence of this country, that's started to be seen by larger populations due to the rise of social media. But you also have police officers who, as departments, as divisions, do such little self-policing, do such little communing, like making sure their culture of policing is actually safe and serving the community, that you get instances where, I don't know if you've been talking to people in like the neighborhood doc, I know you're well connected to your communities and things like that, but people now saying that like, why bother calling the police? Because in addition to all the terror they'll do in my community, they won't even do their jobs. They won't even come and solve the crimes. I have video footage of this robbery. I have this license plate here and evidence. They won't even bother showing up. It's not even because they're being defunded. We're seeing in city after city that police budgets are increasing. Defense spending is increasing in America overall when it comes to abroad, but also internally. Everywhere you're going, things are getting more police and more militarized. So you can't have an increasing of the police state. At the same time, you have decreasing accountability, where at the end of the day, we're supposed to believe that the police are there to solve crimes, to keep the community safe. The community doesn't even believe that cops are keeping us safe anymore, and clips like this are just an example. So that's why I'm cautious about adding money to the police budgets around the country, because we are not adding accountability by any stretch of the imagination.
And sometimes the way that some cops they treat civilians or people in a society like that, in a community like that, they treat these people like they're guilty from the word go. It's like in America, we have the thing called due process, and when you are, it's like if you're ever arrested, you're innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. But you can't have cops out there that treat you guilty. They want to drag you, beat you, stomp on you, even shoot you to the point that you are dead on scene. With that said, I'm out of here. My job. Peace out.